And that's where we begin this Tuesday morning. Bafana Bafana headed home after the weekend's victory against Libya. A brace by Percy Tau and several incredible saves by goalkeeper Darren Keet have given South Africans reason to celebrate. The win means they now qualify for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. My sports anchor, Sandile kaNqose, along with Tshepo Thobane, are both at our Tambo International Airport waiting for their arrival. And Sandile, when we're checking the sound a little earlier, it was difficult for you to hear me. That's because the crowd is so excited there.
100%, Michelle. I didn't exactly hear what you're saying, but I'm assuming you're asking me just in terms of the actual atmosphere. I mean, the amount of people does not pay justice to the noise we're hearing. I mean, as you can see in the background, our Tambo is absolutely jam-packed. You can hear, just look at the fans behind me, just in terms of the actual noise we're experiencing. Now, as you can check up, if the camera can pan up a bit, you can see up on the upper decks, people are everywhere. Even in the main concourse, there's a lot of fans and a lot of noise. But it's not just the fans. I'm also here with my colleague, Tshepo Thobane, just to try and analyze exactly what has happened now. Tshepo, you're our football insider. How exactly did Bafana Bafana get to this qualification?
I mean, hello, Sandile. Unbelievable scenes here. In fact, I remember it's like the 2010 World Cup. Remember the atmosphere during the 2010 World Cup? Unbelievable. It's nice to see so many fans coming to welcome the team. Answering your question about how Bafana Bafana actually qualified for this tournament. I mean, remember the first game against Nigeria? That was the first game that Stuart Baxter, when he returned to the national team, took charge in. He won. Unbelievable. He won 2-0 away in Uyo. That was a massive result. And I think that result is the result that set the tone for why Bafana Bafana is now. The second game, we played against the Seychelles at home, FNB Stadium. A beautiful win for us, 6-0. But unfortunately, we expected that those two back-to-back games against the Seychelles, especially the one that we won 6-0 going into the away leg, we drew. So that's where a lot of people started to panic that is this team good enough to qualify. And then we played against Libya at home, we played a draw. And then, you know the story. I mean, last week Sunday or this past Sunday, he played very well and qualified. That's how we got to qualify for the tournament.
100%. Now, just in terms of, we know the overseas players are going to go back to their clubs. We understand that, you know, the local players do have to come through. Who are you looking to see and looking to get an interview from in terms of the local-based players?
Sandile, Percy Tau, when you talk about the overseas-based players, Percy Tau, he scored 2 goals in that game against Libya. I was looking forward to getting his thoughts about how he felt scoring those goals. He's the next big thing in South African football. But the locally based players are coming, and there's one player in the goalkeeping department, that is Darren Keet. What a performance. I'm looking forward to get his thoughts on how they actually managed to beat Libya away.
Now, just in terms of the broader picture, we've seen Amajita qualifying for their World Cup. We've seen Banyana also doing it in terms of the Women's World Cup. How much credit can SAFA take in terms of the performance of their teams on the field in terms of actually qualifying for these big tournaments?
Sandile, we mentioned it. I mean, the fact that we've got Amajita going to a World Cup, Banyana, their first ever World Cup, and then you've got the under-23s who are busy with qualification for next year's Olympics. I mean, they won their first leg last week against Angola. They are playing tonight at Bidvest Stadium. You've got Bafana Bafana now, which is the main team. That's where the cash is when it comes to sponsorships and everything else. Now, for them to go to a AFCON tournament, it means a lot. As much as we like to criticize SAFA about maybe the problems that they have, administrative problems, but when it comes on the field of play, I mean, it's there to be seen. Most of the national teams, the main national teams, are going to major tournaments. And just to add on that, Sandile, this year alone, 2019, it's a beautiful year. It's a beautiful sporting year. You talk of the Cricket World Cup, you talk of the Rugby World Cup, you talk of the Netball World Cup, and now football is also coming on board. So it's exciting times for South African football.
100%. Just in terms of the exciting times for South African football, how deep are you looking for South Africa to go into this 2019 edition of the AFCON in Egypt?
Sandile, the last AFCON we went into, that was in 2015, we failed to get out of the group stages. 2017, we did not qualify. Now, here's an opportunity 2019 Egypt. As much as we qualify, yes, we applaud the guys, we've qualified, but what are we going to do there? I mean, it's tough these days. I mean, all the teams, look at the teams that have qualified. You've got your Gambia, Mauritania, Madagascar. Those are smaller nations that you would expect to find it difficult to qualify, yet they qualified. So for Bafana Bafana now, it's very important. As much as Stuart Baxter is doing very well, remember he came into Bafana, failed for the World Cup, but he came in the middle of the World Cup qualifications. But the AFCON, he started the AFCON, so he's qualified. So we want to get to the knockout stages. No excuses. I mean, we've got players, experienced players.
100%. That was Tshepo Thobane, obviously our football insider, giving us his analysis of exactly how Bafana Bafana qualified for the 2019 AFCON competition. As you can see, I'm just trying to give you a sense of the noise and, of course, the excitement of the fans right here at OR Tambo. Just take a listen and feel what we're feeling and hear what we're hearing. Back to you, Michelle.
It certainly seems like an incredible vibe there at Tambo International Airport. South Africans from around the country, around the province, making their way to the airport to give Bafana Bafana what surely will be a hero's welcome. They have, I understand, touched down now at the airport just as soon as they come through those doors, making their way through into the arrivals hall. We will take you back there.